This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so Cameron politely destroys Dame Dash. Dame Dash went on the internet, and I guess he had talked to Cameron prior to doing this. Cameron says he did. And, you know, they were joking around about 50 Cent, like, and him meeting up with each other and patting each other. But then he says, yeah, I okayed it for him to talk about it. But then he still went too far, and he made it sound like real extra weird, where he was like, you know, Cameron's letting people come up to him and pat him on his butt. And then I was like, whoa, we're going too far, buddy. Okay, I never okayed that. So, yeah, he said something like,
you know, since when there's a pound, when niggas see each other, they smacking each other on the hips. What's that all about? Like, what was your reaction? Like, do you say stop? Or, you know, like, what do you do when a strong-ass nigga with a tight suit smacks you on the ass when you...
Yeah, so that right there. And then I was like, whoa. So then he said, yo, you know, he says Dame Dash is his own... Basically, he says he's his own worst enemy. You know, it's like Dame Dash will... He says Dame Dash is a genius, but when he's down, it sounds like he's crazy. And when he's up, he sounds like a genius. That's true. But he says, you know, Dame Dash is a weird person. You know, he'll spend his money like crazy. He'll go, you go in his crib and he'll be like, yo, these are museum walls. These ain't normal walls. You know, he's like, okay. And then he'll go to Kanye's house and tell him Kanye's doing way better than you and argue with you for an hour about it. You know, he likes to argue. He said, you're never gonna win a verbal battle with Dame. But you know, Dame made so much money that he shouldn't be wanting for anything, but he spent it all, and he has bad money management. He goes through it like, you know, you can't be flying on a private jet all the time. You can't have 2 houses in London and two lofts in Tribeca, and, you know, you can't have 3 houses in Malibu, you know, and be flying, you know, eating having a chef and doing this. And he says he was originally going to come after him and do a freestyle, and then says how my OG turned snaggletooth. But Cameron highlights a lot of stuff that, like, you know, Dame, he says, I can handle the verbal abuse from Dame, unlike most people, because I know Dame. And he says Dame's always looking for a handout from people who he helped. And he says, there's no doubt about it. Dame Dash might have saved my life. I wouldn't be here today if he didn't sign me to Rockefeller. But he didn't do all the steps for me after I signed to Rockefeller. He gave me the ball, and I ran with it, and I did a bunch of deals, and I always brought something back home while I was on Rockefeller. I brought something back to him and gave him some extra. He says, I didn't do him dirty. But, you know, he says now, and he says, I've watched Dame Dash make a few $100 million companies, so I never count him out. But he be burning too many bridges, spending too much money, and getting into too much debt because he has a spending problem. He says he has a money management problem, and he goes too far joking with people. He says, I could take it, but a lot of people can't. And he's right. Dame Dash alienates himself from all of his peers. That's what happened. He went too far with Jay-Z. If he had just okayed everything with Jay-Z that he was doing with Cameron and this, and maybe we should, you know, I'll have my guys, you have your guys, and we come together with Rockefeller. Because it seemed like it was going that way. Dame Dash was having his selective amount of artists, and Jay-Z was having, you know, his Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak. It turned, you know, the whole thing with Memphis Bleak was in-state property was kind of split because Dame Dash gave them a lot of support. So that was kind of a collaborative effort. But, you know, he shouldn't have made Cameron president of Rockefeller. It didn't make any difference if whether he was or not. You know, Cameron, he did it to spite Jay-Z. And that caused a problem. I mean, I already knew. That's right when I started in the music business. And I was at the video shoot for Oh Boy. I was in my last year of high school going into college. and I was covering the behind the scenes of that music video because I lied my way into the music video, right? Oh boy, right? And I remember Jay-Z showed up, and it looked like he didn't get along with nobody there. He showed up for a photo opportunity, photo op they had to do at the video. And I was young back then, and I went up to Jay-Z and I asked him for an interview, and he gave me his number. And I never called. I should have called, but I was just like, I was new, So I was like, I'm not gonna call Jay-Z. I mean, he's like, this is my number, and I was like, what? It didn't even make sense. Think about it nowadays, But this was like 02, 03, right around that time, and I think it was 03. I can't remember. Whenever Old Boy came out, but you could tell that they didn't mess with each other anymore. That signing of Cameron was the start of a problem, and they had already had that company for 6 years, and that's usually when problems start with a company, with two partners. But yeah, Dame Dash violates, and he does manage his money horribly, man. He throws it around, and we've heard about a million companies, Motor Oil, Cookies, the gallery, and these things don't make money, man. Even the thing he has with like the streaming platform, it's not working. The best thing he had going was the thing with Kenyatta. When he was starting to podcast with Kenyatta early, like in 2017, that was good. I don't know why. He fell out with Kenyatta. He always falls out with people. He fell out with Vlad. He falls out with Adam 22. Dame Dash just can't get along with people because he just doesn't know how to get along with anybody. He needs a job. He needs something where he answers to nobody. He's kind of like him and Kanye are a lot alike. Kanye can't really get along with anybody either. He always has a problem. Adidas, Virgil, who else? His own wife, Kanye just has issues, and so does Dame Dash, and they say Kanye says even crazier things, obviously. Yeah, but I think Dame Dash needed this humbling that it's like Cameron kind of picked apart Dame Dash and his flaws. I don't want to go through all of them, but it's like he picked apart all of his flaws in a friendly way. He just says, hey, man, you have problems with people. He even said Irv Gotti wanted to help him, but he said, Cameron, you got to speak to him because you just be wilding out too much, and he just needs to, like, quietly hustle because when he sounds crazy. Until he gets up again, it's, he got to, I don't know. Yeah, man. And, Kevin Hart doesn't owe Dame Dash anything. I think he already gave back to him, They put him in a movie called Paper Soldiers. That doesn't mean he owes him for the rest of his life. That's not that movie. That movie gave him hope, but it wasn't that movie that got him the next movie. It was him. He kept moving. Kanye West. Kanye West has done a lot for Dame Dash. He's included in a lot of stuff. I think he funded one of his movies. But nobody's going to just give Damon Dash $20 million to pay off his debt. And even if I think Jay-Z would, maybe not. Maybe too much was done. We don't know what was done between the two. I don't agree with how Jay-Z handled it. But Jay-Z's petty, as we see. But Dame Dash is very, very vulgar, man. And he was super conceited back then when he was up. Oh, man. He was popping tags. He was telling people they broke. They don't know how to live. I mean, he was still living. He was still conceited all the way up to now, honestly. You have a boss. Remember with the envy thing? Just, what was that, 7 years ago? You have a boss. You answer to a boss. Damn, you got no bread, yo. You're living off your wife. Like, stop. Stop preaching to people. Anyways, Cameron did not like the pat on the ass thing, and he let that be known in this evisceration of Dame Dash. Anyways, it's Jordan Tower with JT News. Smash that like button. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Dame Dash. I mean, you could tell they're still friends. It's just they be checking each other. This one was public because Dame Dash was public.